Did the world just hear Celine's top designer Michael Ryder reveal the real reason why Taehyung is so special in the fashion world? What did he mean when he said Taehyung made my art explode? Stay till the end, because what you're about to discover might change how you see Taehyung forever. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you believe Taehyung truly redefines modern fashion. 10 minutes ago, the world of high fashion stopped breathing for a moment. The flashing lights of Paris Fashion Week dimmed, the murmurs of the crowd fell silent, and the echo of a name, Kim Taehyung, hung in the air like a divine whisper. But this time it wasn't just the fans, the photographers, or the magazines talking. It was Michael Ryder, the creative mind behind Celine, the man whose vision shapes global trends. In an emotional and spontaneous moment during his post-show interview, Ryder confessed something that left the fashion industry shaken. Taehyung made my work explode. He made it live. But what did he mean by that? What makes Taehyung, known to millions as V from BTS, so different, so magnetic, that even a designer of Michael Ryder's caliber would credit him as the heartbeat of a global fashion awakening? The story behind those words is as breathtaking as the golden lights that danced off Taehyung's Celine ensemble just hours ago. Let's rewind the clock. The runway had just ended. The world's elite, celebrities, critics, stylists, designers, were still absorbing the afterglow of Celine's breathtaking new collection. But there was something different this time. It wasn't just the clothes. It was the energy, the silence that followed Taehyung's walk, the whispers that turned into gasps, and the sheer electricity that pulsed through the room. Cameras flashed, yes, but no one dared to speak too loudly. It felt like witnessing a moment in history. Then came the interview. Michael Ryder, still holding a champagne glass, eyes shining with excitement and disbelief, was asked the simplest of questions. What inspired this collection? He smiled, paused, and then said quietly, almost reverently, Taehyung. The crowd around him froze. The reporters leaned in. And then he elaborated, his voice trembling with both pride and awe. When I designed for him, he said, it's not about clothes. It's about a feeling. He brings something that can't be taught. Grace, mystery, rebellion, and softness, all at once. He doesn't just wear fashion. He transforms it. That one sentence, he transforms it, has now set the internet ablaze. But Ryder didn't stop there. As he continued, his words painted a vivid portrait of Taehyung's influence. The moment he steps into a room, Ryder said, everything changes. Colors look different. Lines feel alive. The fabric seems to respond to him. I've worked with legends, but Taehyung, he's something else. He made my collection explode. Not because he wore it, but because he became it. What could be more powerful than that? A designer admitting that his art only reached its full potential through another person's presence. Perhaps this is the magic that has made Taehyung not just a muse, but a phenomenon. For fans, this statement feels like confirmation of what they've always known. To see Taehyung is to see art come to life. Whether he's walking through an airport or standing on the red carpet, there's a certain aura about him. A delicate balance between elegance and danger, warmth and distance. And that's exactly what Ryder captured. When he wore the Celine ensemble, Ryder explained, it was like watching fire and silk move together. Every step he took told a story. I've never seen the audience so still. He owned the silence. Social media exploded within seconds of Ryder's confession. The hashtags #TaehyungXCeline, #MichaelRyder, and #TaehyungFashionKing began trending worldwide. Fans couldn't stop sharing clips of Ryder's emotional interview, analyzing every word, every expression. He made my art explode became an instant quote of the year. Some fans even described the moment as a rebirth of fashion inspiration. But beneath the glamour and headlines lies a deeper truth. Taehyung's connection to art and expression runs deeper than the fabric he wears. He's not just a model or an ambassador. He's an artist who understands the soul of design. Perhaps that's what Ryder saw. Someone who doesn't perform fashion but communicates through it. Someone who treats clothing as poetry. At one point in the interview, Ryder's tone softened. You know, he said, when Taehyung walked out tonight, I saw people in the audience start to cry. Not because of fame, because of beauty, because of presence. That's when I realized, he's not part of the show. He is the show. Those words, simple yet powerful, echoed through the press room. Journalists exchanged glances. Even Ryder seemed overwhelmed by the weight of what he'd said. For a designer, it's rare to credit anyone outside their own creative process. But for Ryder, it wasn't about ego. It was about truth. "He inspires me to see fashion not as design," he added, "but as emotion. And when emotion explodes, art is born." Could it be that this is the beginning of a new era in fashion? One defined not by trends, but by emotion, by presence, by storytelling through style? If so, Taehyung might just be the spark that ignited it. The crowd that night seemed to sense it too. As Taehyung made his final appearance, the air in the room shimmered with something indescribable. Some said it felt like watching a movie unfold in real time. Others said it felt spiritual. The golden light, the glint of the fabric, the effortless way he carried himself. It was all too perfect to be real. Yet it was. And that reality has now become legend. Michael Ryder's final words in the interview summed up the moment best. "I've created collections for years. But this one, because of him, it's the one that will be remembered." Perhaps that's what it means to be special in the world of fashion. Not just to wear the art, but to become the emotion that drives it. Taehyung did not just walk for Celine. He walked through it, turning every thread into a story, every look into a heartbeat. And in doing so, he reminded the world that fashion isn't about perfection. It's about feeling, about risk, about being brave enough to turn vulnerability into power. So what happens next? Will this be the start of an even deeper collaboration between Celine and Taehyung? Will the next collection bear his creative fingerprints? The world can only wonder. But one thing is certain. After tonight, nothing in the fashion world will ever feel quite the same. If you felt goosebumps reading this, if you believe Taehyung's presence truly changed the meaning of modern fashion, drop a comment below. Let's talk about that moment when Michael Ryder said those unforgettable words. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the heart of Paris Fashion Week, where style meets soul, and where one man named Taehyung made art explode. Michael Ryder's words didn't just echo through the hallways of Celine's backstage. They spread like wildfire through the veins of the fashion world. Editors began rewriting headlines, stylists whispered about the Taehyung effect, and even rival designers admitted, off the record, that what they witnessed tonight was something rare, something unforgettable. In less than an hour, Taehyung wasn't just a guest or a muse. He had become the emotional centerpiece of an entire global conversation about what fashion means. As Paris's night lights glimmered on the Seine, journalists hurried to file their stories. Some described the atmosphere as celestial, others called it cinematic, but all agreed on one thing. Taehyung had redefined what a collaboration between artist and designer could be. He doesn't just model the clothes. One fashion critic tweeted, "He breathes them into life." There's energy in his stillness, chaos in his calm, poetry in his every gesture. Michael Ryder, when asked later if he expected this kind of reaction, laughed softly. "I should have," he said. It always happens with him. Every time Taehyung enters a room, it stops being about the room. It becomes about him, but not in a self-centered way. He draws you in because he makes you feel. He's effortless. And fashion without feeling? That's just fabric. Those words hit deep. For years, high fashion had been accused of losing its soul, too focused on commerce, on digital trends, on superficiality. Yet here, in the heart of Paris, something had changed. One man in a golden Celine suit had made the entire industry remember why it fell in love with fashion in the first place. There was a moment, captured by dozens of cameras, where Michael Ryder reached out and placed a hand on Taehyung's shoulder backstage. It wasn't planned, it wasn't staged. It was pure emotion, a mix of gratitude and disbelief. "You brought my dream to life," Ryder whispered. "You made it more than what I imagined." Taehyung's response, though quiet, carried weight. "It's your art," he said gently. "I just let it speak." That exchange, simple, human, and genuine, became the symbol of something greater. In a world obsessed with perfection, these two men, an artist of music and an artist of design, had found a shared language, emotion through creation.